Time for another personal finance update brought to us by Madrona Financial and CPAs. Brian Evans is here. One of the things we want to talk about is what you call a paycheck for life, and that is basically making sure that you have a steady flow of income even into and throughout retirement. Can you kind of describe what the thinking is here?
Yeah, I meet with a lot of pre-retirees, and pretty much invariably, when I ask them what's the most important to them, is it growth of your investments, liquidity, security, tax savings? They'll say, no, it's cash flow. Because they gotta, that's what you live on. That kind of dictates the life you're going to live. And so if cash flow is your biggest, need in retirement, that's something that we should be planning for early, because stocks and bonds, generally speaking, don't do a great job of cash flow for everybody. So understanding where you can go, what your options are, is super important.
So when we're talking about this, I'm imagining a lot of people are worried they're not going to have the same amount of money coming in retirement that they are during their working life.
That's right. In fact, statistically, a couple age 65, and we think of that maybe as a normal retirement age, there's a 1 in 2 chance that one of you will live to be 90. That's 25 years of cash flow when you're not cashing a paycheck. So that can be alarming for a lot of, and should be alarming for a lot of people. So replacing that's why we call it a kind of paycheck for life. Really what we're talking about is cash flow when you no longer are working at a job.
What are some of the basic strategies you talk about with people about making sure it just doesn't dry up?
Yeah, I mean, we all, consider Social Security as one of those things. It's basically an annuity, lifetime annuity. Some of us are lucky to have pensions. Most of us do not. There are annuities, insurance company products that provide that. But there's also can be interest-bearing products, credit funds, real estate can be a good thing, whether it's active, but at some point we want it to be passive later in life, of course. And so there's a lot of things out there. You notice I didn't mention the stock market.
Yeah.
Because the stock market generally isn't very good at that. But there are other places we can go to get higher earnings during our lifetime.
And this is, as you say, one of the number one things your clients ask you about. And I'm imagining this is one of the first things you're talking about.
It really is. It really comes down to that, because my book, 7 Steps to Successful Retirement, your life plan is the first one. What do you want your life to look like? Well, the next part is, how do you fund that lifestyle? So that's really about the cash flow. It's not about being the richest person in the graveyard all the time. I mean, that would be growth. But cash flow is hugely important for most people I talk to.
Are people concerned as much about leaving money for their children as much as cash flow, or is cash flow really the big concern?
It really is, because it's kind of, put the oxygen mask on yourself first on the airplane, right? Worry about your kids second. So I promote that too. Let's take care of your life, have you live the life you want to live with the cash flow that can be provided. Then we can worry about what's left behind when you're gone.
All right, Brian Evans from Madrona Financial and CPAs. You can catch our conversation every Tuesday morning on Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio. Brian, thanks for your time today.